negativity for me is like a bad wig.
That's right.
If somebody got a bad wig, that's the first thing you gonna notice about them is that bad wig. And that's how the energy can be with the negativity.
That will come from a man, right? A bad wig.
Yo, welcome to the E7 Media Podcast. Here it's me, Isaiah Robson, your host. And on my right side, of course, you already know Jennifer Robson, a.k.a. Jenny. And today we have two very special guests, man. First of all, you already know Ziyia, future famous artist in the making. You already know.
Of course.
And also we got my cousin, man, pro baller in the building. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But today we going to be talking about just pure... the power of focus and concentration. So my first question is, what is your own definition of focus and concentration?
Ability to direct one's attention in accordance with one's will.
Okay.
I like that. That was good.
I like that.
That was good.
Okay. What about yours?
Pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, concentrate to be able to focus on a particular object.
I can't hear your mic.
To be
there you
able
go.
to focus on a particular object for a certain period of time without getting distracted.
Right.
Okay.
I agree with that. Like, you just basing your focus on to a situation or like more than one object or just anything in general. Just you focusing that energy and time, because it all takes time to focus.
That's a fact. And it takes a lot of mental capacity, a lot of willpower, as you said before. Also, like, just to add more to it, it's like, for me, focus and concentration is almost like tunnel vision. Like, you're going straight forward. You're not worrying about anything or anybody or what anybody else got to say. You just you following on your own thoughts. Right. And you're focusing on your own thoughts, and you just tackling it and going at it. You putting action towards your thoughts. That's what I feel like focus really is.
Right.
Right.
But,
to do one thing at a time.
Exactly. So another question I have, it says, what happens when an individual concentrates on a specific goal or dream and they work towards it? What could they achieve?
They can achieve success. Because we basically have two natures, a divine one and a ruthless one, pretty much. I mean, I could get even deeper than that, but whatever you focus on, if you're focusing on a particular project, a particular task, a particular thing, you will accomplish it.
Right.
That's
true.
You will accomplish it because your focus help you think of all the things that, if you positively thinking, all the things that you can do to make it better.
Right.
It's almost like when we talk about personal growth. You see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes, not to cut you off, and sometimes in that case, you can overachieve. If you have the right focus and your mind's, like you said, thinking positive, you can overachieve whatever you done set your mind to and accomplish even more than what you set out to do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. That's the best way to be.
Right.
If I'm going to do it, I'd rather overachieve and work hard at it than to be slack.
Right.
And
Very
not
true.
even meet the mark.
Right. Right.
I noticed I was watching something before, and it was consistent of success, not only on concentration, also focus, but they was also talking about consistency and persistence. I heard a lot of those types of words when it comes down to focus. So in succeeding, since we're talking about succeeding, do y'all think there's other things that people should work on besides focus and concentration, also persistence and consistency? Do y'all think they should work on something else, or just on those four words right there?
It's a lot that goes into that. First of all, I would say, as you going on your journey trying to achieve what you're trying to do, the first thing you should look at is your mental.
Right.
How is your mental state trying to achieve all of these things? Because some people get burnt out, some people lose motivation.
Mm-hmm.
You may lose people during that time. Like it's a lot of things that contribute to that, like your mental being in a good space. So your number one should always be your mental.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
I definitely agree
well
with that.
said.
Yeah.
Well said, brother. Little technical difficulties right
Yeah.
That's
now.
all right. The devil
Okay.
trying to stop you.
Can't stop me.
Right.
Exactly.
Can't stop me. You can't stop me. What was the question? Say it again because
The words of persistence, consistency, focus, and concentration. Do you think those are the 4 that people should only focus on when it comes down to succeeding, or do you think more should be towards succeeding? Like Daamir talked about mentality, your mental capacity, pretty much being able to control your thoughts. That's very important.
well that
So-
it all connects really because your mental, then or you could say your spiritual, your mental, it connects. You see, and when you want to succeed, your mental and your spiritual need to be in place.
Always.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it needs to be in
feel
place.
Like when you're focused and you're self-driven on a goal, you can lose sight on God. You can lose sight on your emotions and yourself because you're so focused on trying to achieve this goal that you may forget to eat some days because you're so focused. You want to get this done. You want to accomplish it, but I have to remember that you can take care of you. You matter as well.
That's a
And
fact.
I feel like that's a lost art too because people don't think about themselves at the end of the day. It may be other people, their spouses, but how are you? Like, how's your mental? How are you doing? You may need a hug. You may feel defeated, but you matter.
Yeah, that's
That's
fact.
right.
And
That's right.
it's never too late to pick it back up wherever you done left. It's never too late.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You say you had some information. You read something.
Well,
on there.
one of the things that I like, I want to talk about when a person get into a slump. Like a lot of times people get into a slump and they keep doing the same thing, but they don't realize if you're in a slump and at whatever point you decide no more, I will change. I can make it. I'm going to do something different. It's going to happen. At that point, that's like the turning point. And you got to get there.
Right.
If you want to come out that slump.
Right. But how do you because like you said before, you said folks may not know that they're in a slump. So how can you identify if you're in a slump or not?
You can tell when you're in a slump. First of all, you start feeling down. You feel
Right.
defeated. You don't feel encouraged. Some people are not working, don't have a job, don't do this. This is not working. But some people get on drugs. But the minute you say enough is enough.
That reality check.
At this turning point, like he just said, I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to change. It has to start with you.
And all it takes is that small match to start that fire.
That's a fact.
But
That's
a lot
right.
of people think they should start off big, but you got to work your way up.
That's right.
Yeah, because you can't cut
That's right.
you can't cut
It's-
yourself all the way off because you go just lead back to those old same habits. You know what I'm saying? So like even like as simple as let's say dieting, let's just relate it to something like dieting. Like you can't cut meat and carbs all at once. Like you're not gonna be able to survive. Your body can't sustain itself. But if you do it little by little by little, and you make that progress, you can achieve the impossible that you thought was impossible. You know what
You
I'm
can
saying?
achieve all your goals.
Exactly.
It takes baby steps.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
like I'm gonna relay it to basketball because I got a teammate. He was on a skid. He was on a 3-game skid where he couldn't throw it in the ocean, and our coach is telling him like, The next one is going in. Don't even worry about it. The next one is going in. And I feel like that applies to life, sports, anything in general. When you get down or things ain't going your way and it's just all bad, you gotta have that mental stability to be like, it's gonna happen for me, and just keep working at it. Because eventually, when you break the door, when you get your foot in the door, you could break the whole door open. And that's all that really matters, is you staying and sticking with it.
That's a fact. Keep going.
Right.
Just
Keep going. Keep
Right.
going.
Keep
Even
going.
if you think you in a slump, even if you think it ain't working, bro, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I remember in Rich Dad, no, it wasn't Rich Dad Poor Dad, it was Think and Grow Rich, when he was a few inches or a few feet away from gold. Like he had everything going for him. He struck gold, and then he hit a plateau in the ground. Like, and he was digging, couldn't find nothing, and he was like, I'm gonna give up. And other guy, poor guy, the guy sold his equipment to a poor guy, and the poor guy was like, you know what, I'm gonna get somebody who actually know what they talking about and research and like research and see where the gold is.
Right.
And he found out that he was like a few inches or a few feet away from the gold, and just like that, missed opportunity because you gave up. You know what I'm saying?
And when you break through that ice, stay humble. Don't go bragging. Just stay humble. Keep going.
I want to get back to what you just said. You said about the opportunity. Now, before we started, we was talking about opportunity. And I said, I believe that you should create an opportunity. I believe that we said, opportunity knocks. And some people say opportunity knocks one time. I don't believe that. I believe that an opportunity can knock. Maybe you did miss that opportunity, but you can create another opportunity.
That's a fact.
And I think we were saying that I said that I don't believe that opportunity looks for us. I believe we seek opportunity. Now, that might not be in every situation, but I believe that we could create our own opportunity. I believe that we should be seeking opportunity.
Right.
And I don't believe that opportunity knocks one time.
Right.
That's true. I don't believe that either. I believe opportunity comes in different phases and different ways. You know what I'm saying? Opportunity, you can be looking for opportunity, and opportunity can find you. Opportunity can just pop out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that you meet out in the street who's probably doing the exact same thing, like maybe a partnership. You found the guy who can actually, like, you can partner up with and you can grow with, and then just like that, you hit the jackpot. You know what I'm saying? Like, opportunity, I feel like opportunity can move in different ways. It can sneak through the back door, and it can come through the front door. That's how I feel.
And through that, patience is the key. Can't get frustrated.
That's true.
No, you can't.
You can't
get
yeah.
frustrated.
A lot of people does. They be like, man, I want this opportunity. I want it. When it don't come on their timing.
Exactly. Or they thought that the opportunity was going to come, and then it was
Right.
like, dang, bro, the opportunity was supposed to be right here, and it didn't happen.
Then they end up in that slope, like you were saying, Miss Robinson, if it don't come on their time.
But that's where you have to recognize, okay, the world is full of opportunities.
Right.
So if I miss this one, it doesn't mean that I can't create or there's not another one. But you can't sit down and just dwell on the missed opportunity.
Right.
That's negative thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't.
And see, the power of concentration is, okay, that didn't work, but let me focus on, let me tell you something, when you give something 100% of your focus, you will master it. You could think of any, I like to say with sports, the great ones, follow them. See what they do every day. See how they spend their time. Are they dwelling on a lost game, or are they ready to work towards the next game to win?
Right.
Yeah.
Why are you in the locker room crying? Stop it.
Exactly.
There's still another game.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I don't get the championship this year, watch your back. Because there's another year.
Hey.
You see, I'm preparing
Yeah,
myself.
I'm preparing
I need to
myself,
know
right.
where I was weak. I think we talked about that. Define your weak spot and
Master-
build it up.
Master your weakness.
Master your weaknesses. Because you're already good at what you do. Your strength is your strength. But your weakness can cause you to not succeed.
Right.
That's a fact.
Because concentration come with uses and benefits.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
Good
does.
benefits too.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And also, like, don't dwell on your strengths. You could master your strengths as well, because just as much as you think something is your strength, it can be exposed as a weakness. You could get comfortable with your strengths.
You can.
And,
That's
and
true.
it's good not to be like that. And if you're smart, any turbulence or any situation you've been through that you didn't succeed at, sports, anything in life, be better at it. Think about it. Sit down and where did I go wrong? How can I be better at this the next time? Because it's gonna come back around,
Right.
especially in sports. You're gonna play that same team again.
Right.
What you gonna do to get that one up on that team that you just played?
That's right.
Somebody could be cutting you up all night. What you gonna do to be better defending them the next night?
Right.
See.
But I
and
agree
that-
with you. You could get complacent in your strength.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
your strength becomes a weakness if you get complacent.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It's like working out. It's like working out. It's like you going to the gym, right? And so you have this body,
Physique.
right? Okay, you know, and everything looks good. And all of a sudden you don't go as much. Now you're going to gain weight.
Because you're losing progress because you're not staying consistent.
Right.
Right.
So your strength where you was really working out is now in your weakness.
Facts. And you said something very powerful. You was like, you know what? Somebody cut me up, like they putting buckets on me, like they cooking me up. Okay, you look at the tape, and you looking at yourself, and you like, okay, I did that. Now I should do this. Like learning from your mistakes.
Right.
Like learning, like just by us doing this podcast, I already know this podcast is gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? But in the future coming, like we gonna look back and we gonna be like, damn, we did that wrong, or we did that wrong.
Because you
Man,
constantly
we did that
perfecting,
wrong.
you constantly
Right.
making yourself
Exactly.
stronger.
We learning from
in
our
what you
mistakes,
do.
and we're bettering ourselves
And
as time goes on.
in anything in life, people gonna criticize you. People gonna always have something to say.
That's a fact.
People say turn right, you go left. Well, what if you went left and it worked out? Well, I told you to go right, but you know, people just gonna have something to say
Gonna
regardless.
have-
But the one key thing that you can take away from that is always be willing to accept that constructive criticism, because that may be that block that could take you over the mountain. So always listen to what people say and how they say it to you. It may be good, it may be bad, but always take it as a learning experience.
Positive criticism.
Facts.
Right.
Positive.
Right.
Some just came up like a question. How do you know between positive criticism or like criticism, like just constructive criticism and hating? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know the difference?
I feel like it's a thin line between it, because just as much as I'm giving you that criticism, it could turn into some personal stuff. So I feel like how you differentiate between that emotion. I feel like for me to hate on you is some type of emotion involved, but for me to criticize you, it's just me telling you, maybe you could do something better, or maybe you should do it this way, that way, etc. But I feel like that hating comes from a lot of emotion. Like that's a hate that like hatred. I feel like is an emotion. So I feel like
A strong one too.
right,
You wouldn't it get to you.
right.
You
And when
allowing
somebody,
it.
and when somebody's hating on you, it is not positive criticism.
Nah,
Right.
not at
They're
all.
not going to even be saying anything that's positive.
Right.
You know, it's like I was talking with you last night, and I was saying, it's nothing wrong with someone telling you about your weaknesses, saying,
Right.
you know, you might need to do that better.
Right.
You might need to, you got to be open to positive criticism. But if I'm saying, oh, you can't do that,
Right.
or why you trying to do that,
That's hate.
then that's not positive
Right.
criticism.
Right.
You see?
And also, when they get that, they think they're moving away from it, but everywhere you go, it's people is gonna criticize. People is gonna try to get up under your skin, or people are trying to give you like positive encouragement. So,
You know
You
what?
can't run
How
away
they
from
say you got to take the trash
Right.
out. You know what I'm saying? Whenever someone come, people gonna
Exactly.
say, I like this, I like you. Every person is entitled to think, hopefully.
Right.
And just because that's how you feel, that doesn't make it right. Just
Facts.
because you think this way about me doesn't make it true.
Right.
Facts.
It's only true when I believe it.
Right.
And when you receive it. Just,
That's right. It's only true when I believe it. You know, you could tell me I'm blue. If I believe I'm blue,
Then I'm blue.
then I must be blue. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if it's not truth, truth is what you believe. It don't make it the truth. Right, right. But I have a question that we, as I was studying, it was talking about concentration. And you know how two people could get the same opportunity, right? And this is what you have to be careful with. You could get the same opportunity and you can say, I will do this, and don't do it. Then the next man come along, same opportunity. He said, I will do this, and he does it. You see? And sometime when we're talking about success, we got to look at how we receive it and what are we doing with it. Y'all follow? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I believe opportunity constantly come. Here it comes.
That's-
Here it comes.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
coming to something. But once I find that opportunity, that's why I said you got to seek opportunity. I just believe that. But once I got it, and say you got it, let me put it like this. If the opportunity come to you and the same opportunity come to me, if I drag my feet on it, you still going forward. A lot of people, when they get involved in stuff, they act like they have no competition. They act like nobody else is doing it. But I got news for you. Somebody else is doing it. The difference is who's doing it the most, who's
That's a fact.
concentrating, who's focused. Because I was looking at this girl, she was selling art. And I said, wow, digital art. And I said, wow, I was thinking about you. I said, she's doing that. Okay, so same opportunity. But are you going to work it? Or are you going to procrastinate and somebody else going to work it and get there? Not saying you won't get there, but maybe you might get there a lot slower.
and also learn from them. That's in the same opportunity from you. It's okay to ask, be like, hey, you know, I need help with this, or what's the information on this? Instead of like, you can't be stuck up. Like, you
Yeah.
can't have that bad
But
energy
you-
just because
but-
that person already.
But you
there.
have some people don't want to give information. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got
yeah.
the you got the.
That's
skills
why I
and
think
everything.
I'm so thankful for Google University,
Right.
YouTube University, because
Right.
there's not much you could look up that you
That you
can't
can't
find
find.
that answer to it. You just can't be lazy
right.
at seeking that information.
Right. And I
You
feel
know.
I feel like that comes with, like we was talking about hating and stuff, like that comes from that person knowing they're lazy and they know if somebody get that right opportunity they're gonna overpass them. And a lot of people nowadays don't want you to have the one up on them. You may know something I don't, and I'm asking you about it, and you start
Right.
acting funny. But once I find out and I return that same energy, you gonna say I switched up or I'm just fake. But I've been asking you this. I've been trying to get on, and you just act like you didn't want to help me. So when I find it out myself, I don't really have nothing for you.
Exactly, because you didn't have nothing for me.
Right.
You know what I'm
And that's
saying?
why you got to be a seeker for yourself and not really get into depending on people for your movement.
Yep.
That's
Because if you do, you're going to be disappointed
A lot.
a lot. So when you're doing something and you really believe in what you're doing, depend on you between prayer, because I believe in the power of prayer, meditation.
Right.
I believe in that.
Right.
Love it.
You know, where I can sit, because I think in the last video we was talking about meditation, but there was a part that I wanted to say, and when I look back at the video, I said meditation can bring new thoughts, can bring new ideas. You know, it can inspire you.
Right.
And with meditation, you got to know how to detox and get the garbage out your thoughts.
That's
Right.
a fact.
And that's why you got to be careful the company that you keep, the people you're sitting down
Right.
talking with on a daily basis. You know how you can tell if you talk to the wrong person? How do you feel after you hang up from them?
Right.
Do you feel motivated, excited, inspired, you know, I'm lifted up? Or do you feel down and down and down and you trying to figure out why you heavy?
Right.
Because you just took on somebody else's luggage.
Yep.
Oh,
And energy is strong anywhere, whether we're communicating over a phone, email, text. I could feel your energy based off of what you say and how this conversation is going. So, like you said, it all depends on how you feel after you get done talking to a person. Because that person may have some inside stuff going on that they're not telling you about, which causes you to feel the way you do. You feel down, you feel depressed, you feel unmotivated, like a lot of different things. But you have to be careful on who you let get in your ear and in your heart.
And that always goes. That also goes back to like the information that you watch. Like the eyes is a gateway to the soul. So like, and your ears is very powerful too, because that also goes into your mind as well. So the things that you hear, the people that you surround yourself with, the information that you watch, it always it hits your mind and then it goes down to your heart, and it's harder to get things out of your heart versus your mind. So like,
That's true.
definitely if you can just listen to positive motivating things early in the morning, all throughout the day. Surround yourself with good people, good talking people, good minded people, higher like bigger thinking minded people, who are not thinking only about themselves, but they're thinking about your well-being as well. So
Yes.
those are the people that I try to surround myself with the most.
Concentration comes, you know, we supposed to do that every day.
Uh-huh.
We supposed to sit down and just take some time for yourself. Detox your mind from all the stuff that's going on. And when you do that, then you're able to let some new fresh stuff come in. You see? And that's what you want. You want to be able to detox your mind and allow new stuff to come in. And that's being focused. It's not easy. People, we are distracted people. Everything distracts us. You know, we talked about the phone, the this, the that, the children, husbands, wives, family, somebody at the door, and somebody ringing a bell, somebody want to sell you something. You know, we are constantly bombarded, right?
Right.
So how do you
Unplug from that.
unplug from that?
And I feel like that has a lot to do with a lot of other things. Your mind, everything trickles down, but it stems from your mind. You may be feeling some type of way because you done dwelled on something for the last week. I don't like the way such and such says something to me at the job. So, you know, it's just been on your mind for a whole week. Before you look up, it's a whole month that done passed that
And
you
you
done
still
thought
think
about
about
what somebody done said at the job. So it's just like you have to,
And
you
it
have to,
grows.
you have to, you
know that,
have
right?
to, you have
But-
to.
It grows
ha-
because like, oh, my fault.
You,
It-
oh, go ahead,
go
my
ahead.
bad.
No, go ahead.
And what he was saying, you gotta learn how to forgive, and
Mhm.
you know, just like I
Mhm.
was saying, you can't move from it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's everywhere you go, you just have to learn how to forgive and meditate, have peace.
Facts. That's
You
a
know,
fact.
Or stay away from that person.
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah,
out
you
of that
gotta
out,
stay
of
away.
that, out of their company
Right.
if you can.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you master your concentration, you could, like I said, you could be talking to me, but I have mastered my thoughts so that I'm really not affected by what you're saying because I'm not even really listening.
Exactly.
No disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do my job. I'll teach at the school. I'll do everything I need to do. But the negativity, I don't get paid for that.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And I feel like
I don't
that.
get paid for that.
And I feel like that stuff
You
grows.
see?
You know what I'm saying? Like if you dwell on something for a longer period of time than what it was said, you know what I'm saying? It starts to grow. Then you start thinking about, oh yeah, what that person said. Then you start thinking about what that person said. Then that person. Then that person. Then you start feeling bad. Then your confidence is going down. And this is
And
that.
not- not
now
even
you in a
that.
slump.
And to piggyback off that, like you said, it could grow so bad. Like it could grow into rage,
Yeah.
envy, jealousy.
Yeah.
It could grow into a whole different monster than that based off of something you said a week ago.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
I was watching First 48, and those that know, that show is off the chain. But they got into it at the gas station because he said something to him a week ago at a hotel somewhere. So he followed him to the gas station, confronted him, and killed him.
Jesus. He was holding on to that.
So
for a
he-
minute,
so-
boy.
It became bitterness to the soul. He meditated. Let me tell you something. That's what they call it, premeditation.
Yep.
That's concentrating. I'm concentrating. I went from I didn't like it to what am I going to do about it?
Right.
To this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm gonna see you, and now hate has built up in your heart so much
Right.
That
to
you wanna
now I'm
cut off
gonna
that
kill
man.
you.
Right.
You
like,
see, so you had to. It wasn't like spontaneous.
Right.
It was.
Or
it
just a
means
coincidence.
A coincidence.
Right.
You thought about this
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
The next time I catch him, I'm gonna do something to him.
Right.
And
Right.
also,
Right.
like we said, the people people will juice you up and put that battery in your back for failure. You have to watch because I've experienced that in my life. Like people will tell you to do stuff that they wouldn't even do, but when they see you do it, oh well, no. I'm listening to you. You're supposed to be my friend or somebody close to me, but they will juice you up for you to crash out in failure. So you have to listen, like you said, you have to be careful with what you let goes into your mind and your soul, because it's hard. It's hard when you care about something that somebody says. It can get into you.
and
That's why-
observe in silence.
And that's why the power of concentration. You got to be able to master your thoughts. One of the things that I made some notes to master your thought is in your success rate. Let's go back to that. Your success rate is like once a month, the first of every month. Evaluate what you did last month. Sit down and be true to thyself.
Right.
See if you're really progressing.
Right.
You see, sit and say, okay, let me see what I did. And then if you didn't meet the mark, then that's the first thing you start with. But
Especially
you
with the
gotta
new year coming up.
reevaluate yourself. You got a new year. It's always a new year. Every day is a new year. Every day is a new day. You should be doing something new
Different. Yep.
every day or completing the last task that you said you was going to complete. I like this. I wrote this down. I said, most things are possible. Most things are possible. We can achieve greatness. Most things are possible. It said maybe a hard task, but the harder the task, right, the greater the reward.
I heard that
Okay, if you are willing to pay the price, you can succeed.
Yep.
How many people are willing to pay the price? We want to do great things.
Right.
We need our mind focused. Are you willing to sit down and focus? Give yourself 20 minutes out of the day. Are you willing to sit down and focus?
Right.
Are you willing to take notes about yourself? People say, "Oh, journaling is old." No, journaling helps you realize what's happening in your mind. Write it down. Start to master your mind, so that you can see what kind of thoughts you have going on. You know, we talk about the power of concentration, but good example. What are you concentrating on?
Right. Right.
You see, because you remember two natures. You could concentrate on the one that's going to advance you, or you could concentrate on the one that's going to pull you back.
Right.
Right.
Whatever one you constantly concentrate on, that's the one that's going to dictate your end.
Right. And like you said, if you didn't meet that marker, also don't get discouraged. Celebrate your small wins. I feel like
That's right.
I feel like that's something that's underrated. Like celebrating your small wins. I may have jogged 2 miles today. Okay, that's cool. But I'm trying to be able to jog 5. Them 2 miles is still a small win from when you couldn't jog 2 miles at all.
That's a fact.
That's right.
So it's like, just celebrate the things that come up during while you're trying to achieve a goal. Because it all matters. It all matters. You go from lifting 5 pounds to 10 pounds. That's an improvement. That's a small gain. You may look at it as big or small, but it's a gain. From you probably couldn't lift nothing before.
So my little half a mile was good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about that thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then I'm pressing. I'm pressing. Well, I do. When I do walk, I try to do at least a mile or two. I just take my time, and I'm not in no rush to do it.
Right.
And it helps me focus. It helps my mind be clear. We going into we all sitting here, but I have a question. Isaiah got questions, but I just want to ask this
pretty
question.
much all my questions, and I only got one more question.
A person who wants to succeed, if you want to succeed, this is for all of you, what would you do? What is the first thing that you would do?
Does it depend upon so succeeding, does it depend upon what I'm trying to succeed, like the goal that I'm trying to succeed
whatever
to?
the goal is that you're trying to succeed at,
Okay.
what do you do to succeed at that goal?
Plan.
Yeah.
I say the first step with anything, you trying to do something, plan. Look at the steps you got to go through to get to where you're going. It's like trying to cross a pond. And you know how you have the little rocks on the pond that you got to jump on to get to where you're going. Focus on that. Look at where I got to go from point A to point E or F or wherever I'm trying to go with it. First thing you should do is plan.
I agree on what he said.
Okay. Are you adding?
I'm thinking while y'all go.
Well, I got you. I got one. Plan is definitely a good one. I didn't even think of that. I should have thought of that. But also action. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just not do it. You just gotta go just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be fearful. Like you can't just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna do it later.
Or focus on the negative.
Yeah,
What's gonna happen if I do this? I never did this
Oh,
before. Like
man.
you
Worried
said
about the future.
Yeah, like you
all that
said,
other
be
stuff.
fearful, but
Yeah.
sometimes you got to take that risk.
Facts.
In life, I feel like this life is based off our choices and us taking a risk. Because if we're in our box or we're complacent, we're comfortable, and it ain't no risk being took. We're comfortable.
And it's not good to be comfortable, because comfortable you don't grow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta take that step.
Right.
Well, everything you guys said is really good. It says success, the first thing is the desire to do it.
Right.
The desire to do it. Learn how to do it. then carry it out into execution.
Action.
You see, you got to learn. I could want to do it, but I might need to learn how to do it.
Yeah, you need some
But
information.
once I learn how to do it, now it's time for me to what?
Do it.
Execute. You
Facts.
see? And so that I believe those are ways for someone who's saying, I want to do something. The first thing is that thing you want to do, learn how to do it.
Right.
Because you already have the desire to do it.
Right.
So now learn how to do it.
Right.
Then once you learn how to do it, don't sit, execute.
Right.
You see, execute.
Right.
Put it on the floor. Make it happen.
Right.
You see, and even if it doesn't work out like you wanted to, you didn't waste no time. So go back and what? Execute.
Right.
Reevaluate it.
Right.
Study it some more. Execute. It don't work. Go back to the drawing board. Reevaluate it. Execute. Because the more you keep doing it, sooner or later you're gonna find the mathematics answer to that equation. You're gonna figure it out.
Right.
But if you never execute, you learn. Because I know people that have degrees. I say, well, execute. Don't just get an education on any topic or any skill and then don't execute it.
Right.
And also, I feel like you said, a good thing you said was mastering your mind. Desiring, I feel like that's an emotion. But like a key thing is, what are you gonna do when you wake up some days and don't have that emotion no more? How are you still gonna push through? Are you gonna give up? Because desiring or me wanting to do something, it all comes from a feeling. I want to do this. This is something, but what are you gonna do when them days get tough? What are you gonna do when them sales are down? What are you gonna do when them views are down? What are you gonna do when your team is losing?
You're going to go back and review. You're going to go back and find the reason why. Why did I want to do this in the first place?
Right.
But also, what about the people who depend on support?
Right.
What
Well,
about those?
Well, so if you depend on support, then that means you have support, hopefully. If you have support, then that's why everybody needs at least somebody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody needs somebody
Right.
Also,
that you can, that you can depend on. Because it's tough doing it by yourself, but there's some people, they're doing it.
that's true.
They're doing it. They just find a place. That's what you call mental toughness.
Yep. Yep.
Where you find a place, you meditate, and you say, this is my reason for doing this.
Right.
And even though these things happen, I'm just not going to stop.
Right.
I may take a day off. Nobody said that you have to you can rest
Right.
if you must.
Right.
You know that saying, but just don't quit.
Quit.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so many young people today, they're quitting,
Right.
but they got to develop mental toughness. That's just a part of life. That's a
Yeah.
part of life.
And I feel like you gotta be your number one supporter. And I feel like you gotta have more faith in yourself when you're doing certain things. Like you gotta believe, really, really, truly believe, even if you don't feel like doing it. You just gotta believe. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
And also,
No matter what.
okay, go ahead. But yeah, and also, how old are you?
I'm 22.
15 to like 26 is the highest suicide has ever been in years.
Why? Why do you think? Why do y'all think?
Everybody have their own, everything that they're going through. But I feel like you said, that mental toughness, and people just lose hope. People give up on themselves and just feel like the world is a better place without them. Also, other things take part in that, drugs, bad household, etc. But I feel like that's the main thing.
Also, like, even younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even younger. Like, and also, what mainly caused that can be social media.
Yep. Yep.
Like they would actually look at like the negative comments or anything, or people just trying to get inside their head in the DMs and try to blackmail them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I was looking at, it was a chart, because we had to do this little study in one of my classes. I think it was my social media class, but it was bullying, social media, and one more that was like the top 3. So I feel like you said, social media can and is proven to be deadly. Not everybody use social media for good things. People troll celebrities. People troll your average Joes, your 9-to-5 workers, everybody.
Yeah.
So, like you said, that mental toughness and that support, those play a factor in how strong can you really be? Because some people, they don't have nobody.
Right.
Yeah,
Some people,
Exactly.
and they're on social media listening to all of these people that they don't know thousands of miles away, and that's what they believe. And then when they don't have that no more, they check out.
Yeah.
But and I'm saying this to everybody, you have to find somebody.
Yep.
You have to reach out to somebody. If you're feeling depressed and you focusing on it, find somebody that you can express your feelings to. There's somebody. Everybody is not a tyrant. Everybody is not just about themselves.
Right.
Everybody is not where you do you, I do me, and we do.
Right.
But there's people out there, and you just like you sit there and you stroll through your Facebook or Instagram or whatever
Right.
it is, your social media,
Right.
and you looking at negative stuff. Stop that.
Right.
Start
Right.
looking for something positive
Right.
and look for stuff that can help you.
That's
Right.
a fact.
And take in wisdom.
Yeah, and taking wisdom, but
Taking
find it just as much time it takes me to look at stuff that's negative. I need help. Let me look and see what can help me. Let me see if there's somebody that's willing to help me. Cause I am I'm in a bad place.
Right.
But I gotta have somebody, cause big battles you can't really fight them alone.
Right.
You see,
Right.
so that's and what happens is when we was talking about the power of concentration. Remember, I said you have the advanced part of your thinking, and then you have the part that pull you back. When you start focusing on the negative stuff that's pulling you back, it can consume you
Yep. Swallow you up.
and swallow you up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also pay attention to like your surroundings, because that can also lead to your motivation too, to make you get up off your behind and be like, no, I don't like this.
Right.
Just pay attention to like your surroundings. Like just look, listen, like, nah, this ain't where I need to be at.
Right. Right.
I'm better than this.
And like you said, find somebody. Nowadays, our generation, we have a problem with confiding our feelings, especially men.
Gotta have emotional intelligence.
Right. People, they feel either embarrassed because I'm a man. I'm supposed to be strong. No, you're not. You have feelings just like a woman does.
Exactly.
Just like your children, your
You're
dogs,
human.
your animals.
Exactly.
Anything that's living have feelings.
Exactly.
You could be the cold-hearted person. You still have a feel. Being cold-hearted is a feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing I feel like that could help, is be like you said, find somebody you trust and confide in that person. There's no wrong answer to how you feel.
That's right, because we're all different.
Right.
That's a fact.
We're all different. And there's somebody, I'm telling you, there's somebody that will listen.
Right.
There's somebody that been through it, going through it, coming up out of it, on the top of it, on the bottom of it, but I've been there.
Yep.
Or I know somebody that's been there. Or, you see what I'm saying? Or I studied that, so I understand. But there is somebody that will listen.
Yep.
I love concentration because I say think on those things that are good. Put your mind to it. Put your mind to thinking on things that can make you better.
Right.
We can all think on negative things. Negative things are always happening.
Right.
Right.
Correct?
True.
There's negative things around us every day.
Stuff
Right.
happening right now.
But guess what? You choose
What you want to think.
what you want to
Focus on
consume,
and
what
think
you
on.
want to chew on.
Yep.
You
Yep.
choose.
Yep.
I tell young people, choose wisely.
Right.
Right.
Choose wisely. Choose what. Just like you choose your outfit when you walk out the door. Now, I'm not saying everybody, because some people look like they just roll out of bed.
Come out the house looking like a
Just-
fool.
But I'm saying most people, women especially, and men, you look in the mirror, you choose your shoes, you choose your sneakers, you choose your pants and your shirt, how you gonna wear your hair. You real articulate about that. Be the same way about what's going on around you,
Yep. Yep.
and choose wisely.
Yep.
Some people
Choose wisely.
Some people don't even know what wisely is.
Right.
That's a fact.
Man, they like, okay, you telling me, but I'm like, can you break it down into like crumbs? or
Make a
dust?
good choice.
You'll be
Make
surprised.
good
Right.
choices. Make good choices.
And also, we all been a victim to this, like rolling over, checking our phone first thing in the morning. Some people need to hear positive things as soon as they roll out the bed, just so they can go on about their day and be on the up and up. Some people can't just get out the bed, go through their routine. They have to hear something positive. So I say what works for some people that I've seen, they write positive things on sticky notes and stick them around a mirror or like in their room. So when they wake up in the morning, I am beautiful. I am handsome. I will find a wife. I will be this. I am happy. This, that, and the third. Those things help because that prepares you for your day.
And the first thing I do is thank God. I praise him before I even get to the positive. I give him credit before I do anything.
Okay. I just want to enhance upon that because that was one of my
That's good.
questions. That was going to be one of my questions on like, what are some ways that y'all can, like, some ways that y'all do that increases your focus, your concentration, yourself, your mentality, your mental, your physical. Like, what are some ways that increases, like, that y'all do that increase yourself on a day-to-day basis?
I read. I pray. I watch. Good. I'm particular about what I watch. Who I talk to. First thing in the morning, I never, ever, ever get into a negative conversation.
Yep.
I don't let that start my day.
Right.
I could listen to something that's positive. I could read something that's good. I could listen to scripture. I could listen to somebody that's motivating, that makes sense. But I don't answer my phone the first thing in the morning. Not less. That's why I tell people, text me your situation so I can choose if I want to. No, that's important though.
Yeah.
Text me and tell me what's going on so I can choose if I need to talk to you right now.
Right.
Right.
Because one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to start my day off
Negative.
with negative
energy.
energy.
That's
'Cause-
one thing. That's one thing that we're consistent on. We pray every single morning,
Yep, we
Early
pray
in the morning.
every morning.
4:00
Got
in the
to.
morning.
Every
pray.
morning. Every morning.
Got to.
Because I got to start my day out, because I may run into you and I don't want negativity all
On
in
me.
my thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
You see, because I can't even when people are negative, or things are on them, you can't even have a decent conversation.
Exactly.
Yep.
You can't even have a decent conversation because your mind is so bombarded and confused, and you start saying stuff to that person that don't make. I ran into people I don't know. I don't know what they was talking about.
Right.
They just rambling,
Right.
and
Just
you know, you don't know, and
Right.
and they just, and I'll be like,
Yep.
oh, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or I'll
Exactly.
just speak and keep going.
And
I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, how you doing?
right.
All right.
And, and negativity for me is like a bad wig.
That's
Like,
right.
if somebody got a bad wig, that's the first thing you gonna notice about them is that bad wig, and that's how the energy can be with the negativity.
That would come from a man, right? A bad wig.
that's
But
funny.
it's true. But it's true. You notice negative stuff immediately.
Yep.
You know. But go ahead, Isaiah.
No, that's pretty much it. That's everything. We're breaking 56 minutes, so yeah.
Well,
Like we
I
may
just
we
wanna,
may need to make a part 2. Not go cap.
Okay,
Right.
I want
I
to.
agree on that.
I wouldn't mind.
Okay, let me just. I wanted to give this, and real quick, it says, whatever you start, you can't half do it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You gotta acquire everything about that particular business or whatever it is you're going into.
Right.
You got to be the master of it.
Right.
That means you need to know everything.
Thank you for tuning into the E7 Media Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like, turn on the post notifications. You already know Ding Ding Squad. You already know what it is. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.